This is one of the best lessons on economics that you are ever going to get. A guy walks into a town and decides to stay the night. He goes to the hotel and says, look, how much is it for one night? And the hotelier says, it's £100. He goes, what if I don't like the room? He said, no problems. Why don't you leave your £100 here, go and check out the room. If you like it, stay. If you don't, come back, take your money, and you can be on your way. The guy says, yeah, sounds good. Leaves the money there. The hotelier then calls the baker and says, I've got your £100 that I owe you for the catering that you did. Drops it off to the baker. The baker then calls the local grocery shop and says, I've got your £100, let me go and drop that off for you. The person in the grocery shop then calls a certain local person in town and says, I've got £100 that I owe you for the night that we spent together, wink wink. That certain person then goes to the hotel and says, here's £100 for me staying in your hotel, drops it off. Meanwhile, the guy's checked out the room, comes back down and says, you know what, actually, I didn't like the room. Can I take my money and be on my way? Hotelier says, yeah, no worries. Here's your £100, be on your way. Now, the question for you, how much money was there in the system? Now, you might say, well, actually, there was £100 in that whole system. But how much economic value was there in that system? We had the person, the hotelier that had bought from the baker. That's 100, we could say. We could say the baker bought some groceries from the grocery store. That's another 100. The grocery store then had a transaction with someone in town. That's another 100. And then that person stayed in the hotel. That's another 100. So maybe £400 worth of transactions, all with just a single £100. Now, did we even need the money? Did there need to be this? We could have just had a piece of paper that had I owe you £100 on it that everyone was passing around. In fact, what is this? This is simply paper with some writing on it. But we trust this paper, yeah, because it's written by the Bank of England. It's got some stamps on it. We can say, oh, this is authorized paper. But this could have been quite easily some cryptocurrency. But why did we trust this? We trusted this because this is printed by the Bank of England. Why do we trust cryptocurrencies? Well, in the case of Bitcoin, some people trust them, some people don't trust them. But we trust it because everybody else trusts those particular currencies. And the whole economy is built on this principle of trust. Now, there's many other lessons that can be learnt from this simple story. And if you join our CFT program, we'll open up this world of economics for you and help you understand some of the most challenging subjects within finance, but also within technology to help you crack the fintech market. Look forward to seeing you on the program.